Welcome to Sundays with Max. I am Max, as you all know. Appreciate you guys all being here. It's been a good weekend, and let's see who is here. We have Dom G was first tonight. Chump Change was here. I'm not sure if he's here or if he's back, because I tried tagging him before and I wasn't able to tag him. Crypto Craig always has to be 8th. I think he just likes the lucky number 8. Frogman, Geek of all trades. Yeah, I need to upload a new picture to ChatGPT because it's just not getting. It definitely has too long of a chin. And what gets me is every time I redo a thumbnail, the picture of me gets worse. Like, just go back to the other one. Stay with the other one. Anyway, so yeah, I've definitely been learning how to manipulate ChatGPT to try to get what I want, and it doesn't always work out that way. Let's see here. Steven Cicero is here. Cook 4015. Caw Valley Crypto. I already said Steven Cicero. Integra Guy. Black Hat Team, DJ Mines. That does not look like a Korean model. Are you kidding me? Guy doesn't look Korean. That doesn't look like me, but it certainly doesn't look Korean. All right. Let's see. John English Tech. Yeah, I am not the one playing those horns. That would be Smokey Dan. Let's see. Travelers Travels, good to see you. Let's see. Hash Rico. And that is everybody here so far. Only 21 here so far, but we'll get there. I would imagine as we go through the summer, I don't know. I'm actually thinking about actually switching to Saturday because Sundays have been dwindling, and I know when we get to the summer, Sundays are going to be bad news. People will not be tuning in on Sunday, so I'm still trying to figure that out. Drinking my coffee. I know it's late at night, but I felt like some coffee, so I'm drinking some coffee. It's good for the throat. Allergies have been killing me recently. It was like they all hit all of a sudden, and they hit late this year, so I think that's a big reason why it's been hitting all of a sudden, is because everything like bloomed at once. The trees, the flowers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been a little hard, that's for sure. Well, I agree, nothing wrong with a good cup of joe. It's just the fact that it sometimes affects people's sleep. It doesn't seem to affect mine. For the longest time, I'm very fortunate. When I go to bed, when my head hits the pillow, I'm out within 5 minutes. So I don't usually have, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. There's a song in there somewhere. Good evening, Vinny. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jackson Digital. Yeah, St. Louis. So yeah, you're further south, so you probably are more in the thick of it. Ours just started. So now I'm trying to just make sure that I'm taking allergy pills each day. Try to, knock it down a notch. It doesn't help the fact that, usually before I had everything in the basement, I would just lock up the house basically and turn on the air conditioner, even if it needed to kick on. But with the basement open, there's no way to keep all of that air from coming, at least a little bit of it from coming upstairs. Plus, I've been down in the basement more, so every time I'm down there and I come upstairs, I'm like sneezing. So anyway, I'll live. I've been living with it all my life, so it is fine. Alrighty, well, the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight was, so last week, actually even before the stream, I think on Sunday, because I think I mentioned it on the stream last Sunday, my Pocket 3 was, I don't want to say failing. It was failing, but it hadn't failed yet. The battery was just acting completely wonky. It wouldn't charge all the way up. It was discharging super fast. I don't know why. Did some searches, found out that other people were having the same problem. So they all sent their stuff in for RMA. So last Monday morning, I started the process. We shipped it out on Tuesday, and we've already gotten notification, and it's already been shipped, the replacement. So got an RMA replacement for the Pocket 3. So I'm looking forward to that. But unfortunately, I do not have an overhead camera tonight. So I will be showing you the Ellipal X from the main camera. And then eventually when I do the video, because I don't think they're completely ready for launch yet. They're not starting to ship them until the 30th of May. And I haven't seen a change in so I'm transitioning into the Ellipal X thing. Anyway, but I haven't seen a change in the app yet. So I can't use it yet. At least as far as I can tell. I looked at the instructions, and the instructions were like, go into the app, say connect to a cold wallet, and select the X card as an option. So that's not an option yet. So I'm sure they're going to, as we get closer to the 30th, or at least closer to the point where they actually want us to put out a video. I didn't ask. They didn't say not to put out a video. So I thought, well, we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. But I really, really like this thing. So before I show this, let me kind of go over a little bit of history. So I have a Tangem. I love it. It works, but it does have some concerns. And that came out, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. It was last December, or was the December before? Anyway, in the process of creating a wallet that had a seed phrase, they recorded the private key in their database, Tangem's database, and then they had a breach. So that's a problem. And why would they even need to store that? Which they now say that they fixed, that they're not storing it anymore. But the bottom line is, when you go to create a Tangem wallet, you are online. There's nothing that prevents them from doing something in the background that could lead to somebody being able to hack your Tangem. Again, I'm not overly concerned about it, but it pretty much means I keep most of my stuff in my Ellipal Titan 2.0. And then the things I can't store there, I store in my Tangem. So for me, the Tangem is very convenient, but I do have some concerns. Well, again, I will continue to do that because there's things that Ellipal doesn't have as far as coins. So to me, it's still better than having a hot wallet. But the X card is Ellipal's answer to Tangem. And what this does, let me open it up. So full disclosure, I've worked with Ellipal in the past. They sent me this free of charge. There's no other money that's changed hands. So if you want to call $70 a incentive, and I do have an affiliate link in the description if you're interested in pre-ordering one of these. But that's the only business arrangement, just so you know. But basically, this is what it looks like when you unbox it. So you get one card, and you get this, which is, here, let me get it out of here. Which this is completely offline. And this is where you put the card, and it will, in fact, I'm not taking it off yet, but you can see there's a slot right there. It's right now just covered up. But basically you stick the card in, and then it generates, and this is battery powered, so there's a little USB-C on the bottom to recharge it. But basically this creates your wallet and private key and seed phrase all off of this offline device. So this doesn't get connected to the internet at all. Like a Tangem, when you're creating it, it's on your phone and it's connected to the internet. So this is not completely offline. So again, air gapped solution. And then the card basically looks like this. Okay, I think that's in focus now. That's what the card looks like. And basically when you put it in, it programs that chip right there. So that's basically the way it works. And it works very similarly to a Tangem. When you want to make a transaction, you hold it up to your phone. It's got a near field chip in it. So it's very, very similar. Now, again, I haven't used it yet. Like I said, it doesn't seem like they're ready because I was looking at the app to try to see if I could add it. I also am going to try, and I'm going to message them about this. I want to see if I can just recover, quote unquote, recover my wallet from my Titan 2.0 and just put that on the card so I don't have to create another wallet and then try to transfer everything to this. I'd rather have it be a backup. I don't see why not, but want to make sure that that's going to work. So I'll have a video on this upcoming, not sure exactly when, because I need to get some answers from them first. But I really, really love this thing. I mean, I know everybody who has Tangems, you know, sings their praises, even with their issues, or even with, you know, with Tangems issues. But I really feel like this solves any of the drawbacks that the Tangem has. So really excited about it. Like I said, there will be more to come on that, but I did want to at least show you guys that I just got, and I got this on a Sunday. But yeah, I just got this today. So we'll keep that box so I can do a full unboxing when I get my overhead camera back. And like I said, need a few questions answered. Do you guys have any questions about it before I move on to something else? Oh, like Sega in the 90s, Ellipal does what Nintendo didn't. What Nintendo don't. Got it. All right, let me see what else you guys are talking about. John English Tech. Yeah, you're not wrong, except, yeah, honey does not work for a keto diet, unfortunately. Like when what I will actually take when I'm not on keto, well, even when I was on keto, I did this when I absolutely had to, is apple cider vinegar and honey. Amazing. Absolutely amazing for like coating the back of the throat. Right now I'm using coffee for that because the hot going down the back of the throat feels good. All right. Let's see. Jackson Digital. Let's see. Not sure what happened there, but between Crypto Craig and Jackson Digital, but all sounds good, so that's good. Let's see. Jackson Digital says, yeah, they've been wanting a girl dog, but we kept holding out until the breeder lowered the price on the litters. Got it. All about a dog. So it sounds like you're getting a dog. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so now I'm caught up on that. Let me read down from the Retro Mike. Like Jaguar in the 90s. Let's see. Pontiac Fiero. How do we get on cars? How does it retrieve the crypto if it doesn't go online? Because the crypto, okay, so a Tangem wallet or any wallet, the crypto's on your phone. The thing is, it needs a key to unlock it. And that's what the card is. The card's just the key. The card's the key to get in. That's all. You got the car sitting in the driveway and you can't drive it away unless you got the key, but you still got the car. You have the crypto, that's the car, but you need the key. So that's basically how that works. And it's no different than, like I said, the Titan 2.0. It's the same idea, except you're doing scans via the cameras back and forth. But basically that cold wallet is just the key. That's all it is. Yeah, exactly. DJ Minds is exactly what Retro Mike said. All hardware wallets are just signing devices. None of them actually have to be online. They don't transact themselves. They just approve the transaction. Better said than I could have ever said it. Well, you have to transact with with it connected to the internet, but the key never touches the internet. So the phone app basically is saying, I won't transact until I get the specific key, the specific signing device approving it. So that's in the app on your phone. So again, no different than any USB device or anything like that, like a ledger or anything. All right, let's see. It was tagged. Is keto like all meat? No, not necessarily all meat. It's just no carbs or a very small amount of carbs. So keto itself is generally 50 grams of carbs or less a day. I've had it recommended to me that what I'm trying to follow is about 20 grams of carbs or less a day, but I haven't really been doing that. I've probably been closer to like 30 or 35 recently. I have not been gaining weight, but I haven't been losing weight. Well, you guys know, been a lot of stuff going on. And, so probably thinking about like June 1st, probably just going to go the rest of May, just maintaining my weight and then start June 1st back up again. Again, it's not a huge change for me. The biggest thing is not eating after like 10 o'clock. That's a big thing. And I noticed that definitely I lose weight when I don't eat after like 10 o'clock or so. And then usually having only 2 meals a day is huge. Basically bringing in that meal window. So anyway, right now I'm just kind of like focusing on other things than losing weight, and I will get back to it. I just, like I said, focusing on some other things. Let's see. John English Tech. Hey, you could also come help me weed eat 10 acres. That would help build immunity. No thanks. Let's see what else we got going on here. What? There's a new name I hadn't seen. Galo Salame. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Just dropped by to say Sega Dreamcast remains the most awesome console ever. Long live VMUs. Well, thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. All right, let's see here. What else? Wasn't Tangent issued based around folks that wanted keys versus using scan? These keys were buried in some communication between the device and Tangent that could be viewed and keys stolen. It was anybody that wanted to have a seed phrase. That's what it was. If you didn't want a seed phrase, supposedly the private keys were never transmitted, so therefore never stored. That's my understanding. But why did they ever store the private keys in the first place? Not only that, and they had a breach where I don't know if they ever said whether or not any of the private keys were lost or breached. I don't know, but they did have a data breach. All right. Let's see here. I wonder if anyone has thought to make a miner for other things for phone mining. I'm just thinking some things are built for phone mining. Jackson Digital, it's hard for me to quit nachos. Oh, believe me, in the beginning, it was very hard to quit a lot of things. I found certain ways around things, and I've been doing kind of little small cheats here and there. Like I had pizza, but I didn't eat the crust. So it was really good, but I know that there was a decent amount of carbs in the sauce. The cheese and the sausage is all fine, but a lot of times the tomato sauce will have sugar content in it, which raises the carb count in that. So, and because I'm not eating the crust, I'm having actually like more slices of the topping, because it's so good and not filling me up quite as much. So, yeah. Loom into Kinetic. It's a sugar and caffeine free drink that give you ketones to help with focus and energy. Really? And I think you meant look into. Interesting. Well, that wasn't typed in correctly. Let me see if I can... yeah, there it is. Clean energy. Interesting. Feel the clarity, not the rush. Caffeine-free energy powered by ketones. I don't know if that's how that works, if you can actually take ketones and have it pass through the stomach or the blood barrier, I guess. Yeah, I'll look into it though. Appreciate you mentioning that. Let's see. What else you guys saying? 10 acres, geez. My house is on 1/3 of an acre, so I got a pretty decent sized lot. Yeah, I figured out it was look. I said loom thinking it might have actually meant loom because this guy Shane Hummus that I watched talked about doing loom videos, and I still haven't even really looked to see what the hell that is. I think it's just a tool. Let's see. Good evening, Automatic Beats. Good to see you here. Yes, there are a lot of things besides Varus. I have my phones back there on Accurast, and they keep putting off going mainnet, so maybe they'll never go mainnet. But everybody said the same thing about Pi, and it eventually went mainnet, and people made decent amount of money, people that were in it for a while. So I'm up over 18,000 CACUs. So we'll see. I substitute rice with riced cauliflower. I'll have to check that out. I know that I looked at cauliflower crust. The problem is that that's still fairly high in carbs, believe it or not, because it's not really keto. They do use cauliflower. A lot of places like pizza joints will use cauliflower as being not grain based, and I'm trying to think what that is. I just lost it. As opposed to being keto. Hello, Mr. Red Panda Mining. Good to see you, sir. Let's see what else. All right, I think I am all caught up. Crypto Craig says it is in the frozen veggie section for the riced cauliflower. I definitely have to check that out. I know one of the things I'm actually probably going to start to do here soon, just because, man, eating out at work every day, it just gets so expensive that, you know, things like Factor, and no, I'm not sponsored, at least not yet. Factor, if you're out there, you want to be a sponsor, that'd be great. But we use HelloFresh at home, and we really like it. And Factor is made by the same company that does HelloFresh. So definitely was wanting to give them a try. It's definitely cheaper than ordering out, having to drive and go get food, and Factor will be a lot more convenient and healthier. So I'll be looking at that here in the next week or so. Not so focused on it this week because I'm actually taking Thursday and Friday off this week. Friday is the panel upgrade. Thursday morning, I will be reconfiguring my rack. We actually have another rack. We're just going to rebuild a new rack because we were going to use another rack for some other stuff in the basement to kind of get everything more organized. And so instead of rebuilding the one we currently have, taking everything off and rebuilding it and then putting it back on, we're just going to transfer it over to a built rack and then take that one apart and rebuild that one in the exact configuration that we need for what we needed in another part of the basement. So it'll be a relatively quick transplant, I guess, in the morning on Thursday. And then starting at noon, assuming I'm done with the rack transplant, I will be going live at noon on Thursday. Thursday, May 8th is World Ovarian Cancer Day. So I did hit 10,000 subscribers. And so now I am part of, or I basically applied to the YouTube Give program. And so anytime on those streams, people do quote unquote a super chat. It's not really going to be a super chat. It's going to be a donation, and it'll be 100% of what you would normally do or what you choose to do in a super chat will actually go towards that charity. And the charity I'm doing is the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. Very well regarded organization, has top scores at all of the charity rating organizations, which is why I chose them. And it didn't hurt that they were also in the YouTube giveaway program. So last time I did an ovarian cancer, I also did it for OCRA, Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance, but they are not in that program, and I decided to keep it simple this time. And next time I could always apply. You can actually request somebody to become part of the program. But this time I'm going to do the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. And so anyway, so I welcome you to join me. I have no idea what I'm going to fill with 12 hours yet. So I'll probably be reaching out to some fellow YouTubers out there if you want to join me for a portion of it. I am going to try to do it so that I'm not having to go out to any of these services. I'm going to try to do Video Ninja and try to do it directly through OBS and just have one-on-one sessions with people. So that is going to be my goal. So I might be asking one or two of you out there to help me test it before Thursday, probably on Wednesday, because Monday and Tuesday are packed days for me with work. Got like 4-hour training session on Monday before I'm supposed to be working. And then I've got 3 hours during my day on Tuesday. So yeah, which means I just have to squeeze more into a shorter period of time for the rest of the day. So, so yeah, probably try to do something on Wednesday, try to get stuff set up. Let's see. What else are you guys talking about? Oh, Jackson Digital. So you obviously don't know the story. So back in, let's see. Yes. End of July 2021, my wife went in for a procedure. And part of that procedure was to also do a check to make sure that she didn't have anything else going on. And they did a ultrasound of her pelvic region. And again, it was a very mundane, nothing serious type of procedure. Well, in the process, they couldn't find her right ovary. And so obviously then her doctor says, you need to go see a cancer specialist. And this is the part of the story where I tell people you have to advocate for yourself. Sometimes it can be the difference between life and death. And I truly believe the fact that we advocated for my wife and didn't just take the first answer was what's helped, the reason why she's with me now. Anyway, so called the doctor. They said, oh yeah, we can see you in 3 weeks. We're like, no, she had an 8-centimeter growth. That's what the ultrasound showed. And so she called her doctor back. Her doctor called that doctor. And all of a sudden we got a call from the office saying, yes, we just found out we had an opening. Well, what they did is they opened up early because of her case. So anyway, went in. 3 weeks later, she has the surgery. It goes well. As the doctor put it, though, it was gnarly in there. She had 12 inches of her colon removed, as well as full hysterectomy, but everything came out. It was considered a clean removal. And then she proceeded to go through chemo. It was high-grade serous ovarian cancer, which is the most common cancer for, well, overall, it's the most common cancer, but it is especially common for women in their 40s through 70s. You know, any ovarian cancers that are younger are usually a different kind, but high grade means that it's aggressive. It also means that it's very susceptible to chemo, platinum-based chemo. So that's the good part. So the chemo was effective, and she has been cancer-free since January when she finished with her chemo, January of 2022. So it's been 3 years and 5 months since she had it. So key thing is getting to the 5-year mark. She's over the bell curve of when things would normally come back. Although I have seen some newer bell curves that mean that it still could be possible that it could come back later. So anyway, doctor thinks that it's done. For the first 2 years after she was done with chemo, she was on a PARP inhibitor because hers was BRCA related. If you know anything about breast cancer. Anyway, I won't go bore everybody with all of the details, but Jackson Digital did ask. But I am extremely thankful to still have her with me. There was a friend of mine whose wife knew something was wrong and nobody could figure it out. And by the time they figured out that it was ovarian cancer, it was too late. It was already like late stage 3. My wife's was late stage 2. Difference between stage 2 and stage 3 is enormous, absolutely enormous. So yeah, she passed away about 15 months after she was diagnosed, and she went through the surgery and everything. So yes, we are certainly, as to all the people that have been diagnosed with this horrible disease, we're on the lucky side. So give you some statistics. There are predicted to be about 21,000 women diagnosed with ovarian cancer this year, and there will be about 13 to 14,000 that will die. So it's about 2 out of 3 ratio of how many are diagnosed to how many die in a given year. That is the 7th deadliest from a survivability standpoint. The 7th deadliest cancer behind lung, liver, pancreatic, brain. That's 4. Liver, lung, stomach, esophageal. Those are the 6 that are before, that are deadlier. But way ahead, behind, whatever you want to call it, breast cancer affects a lot more women, but it is much more survivable because there are ways of catching it, ahead of time, earlier. With ovarian cancer, there really aren't any symptoms, and there aren't like any, like, we're going to look, even if you have a background of cancer in your family, there is a test, but it has not become standard procedure to actually run that test every year to make sure that your CA-125 is not high. So, all right, probably way more than anybody wanted to know about the subject tonight, but sorry, you asked, and that's kind of, anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate you, appreciating me sharing the story. Yeah, Jackson Digital, you are correct. Women have the book stacked against them. Yes, I mean, men have to deal with prostate cancer and testicular cancer, but both of those are extremely survivable unless the man is stupid and ignores symptoms, which we're stupid, so we do that. Thanks for subscribing, Steve Newman. I appreciate that. Frogman says, I wonder, do you think Walmart would think it would be weird if I bought like 10 prepaid phones? Well, they think it's weird. Yeah, probably, but there's nothing they can do to stop you. Let's see. Jackson Digital. Thanks so much for sharing. I ran to her and my wife mentioned that she's checked on the reg. What do you mean, Jackson Digital? I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't related to the story I told. Some stores have a max limit of 3. Interesting. Married men live longer because their wives force them to go to the doctor. That's true. That is true. All right. Enough of that. That was not a planned topic tonight. But again, appreciate that you guys asked and that you appreciated the story. Like I said, feel extremely fortunate. It was a rough time, which I'm sure you can all imagine. If anybody you've been touched by cancer, anybody that you love that's been touched by cancer, especially if it's, just kind of thinking off the top of my head. Yeah, somebody has basal cell skin cancer. That's not generally life-threatening. You have it removed and it's done. Obviously that's way different than having a life-threatening cancer. So if you've had that, it's I brought my wife and myself, and we loved each other before, but it definitely brought us closer together. All right. Let's see. Yes. Red Panda, she definitely is. She is a tough lady. That is for sure. All right. What else did I say I was going to go over? I went over the Ellipal wallet, talked about the Pocket 3. Now I talked about the fundraising stream. So again, probably what I'm going to do, because my goal is 20,000. Don't think I'm going to do that in the first 12 hours. Depending on how long the panel upgrade takes, I might do another stream on Friday from noon to midnight. I might do another one on Saturday from noon to midnight, and I might do another one on Sunday from noon to midnight and see where we're at. I'm going to try to get the word out to a number of top YouTubers, Red Panda, but other people that aren't in our space, and see if they would be willing to get the word out to others. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll be posting things on Twitter and tagging people that I think might be willing to retweet it, and we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Last time it was 10K, but I had some really large donations that got me to 10K the last time. I can't really depend upon that, but hopefully we can get there. Yes, I know Sunday is Mother's Day. I am aware. And you know what she wants? She wants to be left alone in the backyard. That's what she wants. She had a lot to deal with last summer. So this summer she just wants to be able to do her own thing. Which I can appreciate. Okay. So I did all that. So I will get to the point where I'm going to do the member giveaway for this 3060 Ti. I already got boxed up. So I will be doing that membership giveaway. So if you are a member, you will be included. I will, in fact, so people can take a screenshot so you can see what number you are. All right. That was actually me looking up the kinetic thing, but that's not what I wanted to bring up. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Hopefully you guys can read that. I know it's a little small, but those are all 30 members. And that's your number. And I will do a random number picker. And whatever number gets pulled is the one that wins. So we'll be doing that probably here in about 10 minutes or so. You know what? I don't need to do it in 10 minutes. It's 40 minutes into the stream. It's been plenty of time. So let me bring up random.org. I think that's what I normally use. Oh, you know what? It's not, because I like the spinner. This one literally just, if I remember this is the right one. Yeah, this one like literally is boring. It will just provide a result. There's no like anticipation. So let me here we go. Spinner. Okay, this doesn't count because I don't have the numbers in right. Okay. Okay, it's on spin. Oh, wheel size. There we go. So I need... That's not big enough. All right, that one's not going to work. Wheel of names. Random name picker. Well, I don't want to do that because that's going to be... Well, I could do that maybe. Let me see. Okay. I just clicked on it. There we go. Let me see if I can do this. Let me go back to my spreadsheet. Nope, not that one. That one. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There it is. All right. All right, let me get back to my stream so I can actually see what's going on here. All right, so you guys can all see that. Does that work for everybody? Just put Crypto Crack on there 30 times. Well, considering it like never gets a membership, I probably should. Oh, Vinny Doug Greco, she shed. Got it. You know, it's funny. I was actually looking at sheds. Did you know that Costco has like a partnership with Gorilla Shed, and the prices aren't that bad. It was like for like a 10 by 20 was like $5,000 installed. That's not too bad. I thought it was going to be more. Anyway, I don't know if we'll do it, but I know where I want to put it now. It's because I realize that I really can't have multiple meters. And so I'm going to have to basically do a sub panel out to the shed. And I want to lessen that run if at all possible. So if I make it on the right side, the same side of the house that my panel's on, I'll be able to shorten that run considerably by doing a 10 by 20 where the 20 comes out. We'll see though. I don't know if the wife really likes that idea. My sister-in-law had a good idea. She said, oh, if you're gonna make one that big, make it 2 stories. I'm like, yeah, I thought about that. There's 2-story sheds out there. That would be pretty cool. Alrighty, enough waiting. 3, 2, 1. That even has a sound effect. Let's see, where is it? Who's it gonna be? Shay Mining is the winner. And just because they're not here does not mean they can't win. Shay typically does, because he's messaged me a number of times, he typically watches the replay. So I'm going to wait 24 hours. I want him to be surprised to see. Let's see, who was close? Oh, wow. GPU risers and Crypto Frank on either side of Shay. Wow. Fixed. Fixed, right? The fix was in. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. Shay Mining, if you're, yeah, is Shay in the US? What I may have to do, let me talk to him. What I may have to do is I may have to sell this GPU and then just shoot him some crypto. Because I'm not shipping a GPU internationally. And that should have been stated initially, but I forgot that I do have some people here that are international, although I'm looking at everybody. I think he may be the only one. I'm looking at everybody else here. I think everybody else is in the US. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. By the way, I happen to see Crypto for Senior on the wheel. If I know a lot of people probably aren't that interested in his content because they're not a senior, but he does have a couple other channels that he's starting. Retirement for Seniors. He's already got Crypto for Seniors, and what's the other one? YouTube for Seniors. Which, you know what? If you got a parent or grandparent that you're like, hey, you should check out, you know, whatever, he can provide some assistance. He's good at it. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Let's see. If you need to sell it and send him the crypto, let me know. Okay. I will let you know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably what we'll end up having to do because, like I said, I'm not shipping it international. I've heard too many Red Panda nightmare stories about international shipping of technology items. So, yeah, definitely not shipping international. But anyway, congratulations, Shay. We'll figure something out. Alrighty, enough of that. Let me go back to me. Let's see what else. So go over this first and then I'll go over the reconfiguring of the rack. So I did finally, in the last, I think it was 2 days ago, finally had my 5090 verified on VAST. Now, as Red Panda had mentioned on Twitter earlier today, yeah, the rentals are down a bit. Now, in my case, I'm okay with that because I'm doing a panel upgrade here in a couple of days. All my stuff's going to expire by Thursday. I didn't really expect to have a lot of things rented at this point. As you get closer, when things fall off, nobody's going to want to re-rent you knowing that you are going to be going offline or that your rig is set to expire on a certain day. They want to see something that's going to be available for a month, 2 months, 6 months. That's what they want to see. And that's also what gets you those longer jobs as well. So the 5090 currently is not rented. It was rented as unverified. So it was only making like 18 cents. It wasn't making a lot. I needed to actually get it rented because when it's rented, I found out the reliability score goes up faster. So definitely wanted to make sure it got rented, and basically it was rented for like 5 days before it finally became verified. And then I was able to raise the price, and then whoever it was fell off 2 days later. So I'm like, cool. That means that the next person that comes on is going to be at the higher price. So I've got it set at like 30 cents. I really want to make sure it gets rented. Still pretty low for a 5090, but I do know that they're still having problems with jobs on the 5090s. So until they get the drivers situated, the 5090 isn't going to be as sought after than actually even 4090s or multi-GPU 4090 rigs. There's no compatibility issues with that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I remember May was a time where a lot of things started to fall off. A lot of universities, I believe, use VAST, and kids graduate in like the second or third week. So if they were doing any type of research or studies or whatever using VAST as their tool of choice to be able to run certain jobs, A lot of that stuff's done because now they need to bring together all of the data and start putting together the papers, writing their thesis, whatever. So yeah, a lot of that stuff, or present. So a lot of that stuff is understandable that it's completing. But on the other side of things, let me, come on. I'm gonna bring this up here. See if it's still, yeah, it still is. This is, hang on. There we go. So I only have one rig on Salad. It's a 3060 Ti. And it's currently making, it says $1.45, but as soon as this comes up, it's going to be a little bit more, maybe $1.46, but it's making a good amount, making 6.5 cents an hour. That's good. That is really good. If you look at the Salad Network monitor, which it has almost so many things that are moderate. But if you look at like where the 3060 Ti is, the average is 0.047. The average earning in the top 25% is 5.4 cents. So right now, sorry, 30, yeah, 5.4 cents. So right now I'm doing really, really well. No complaints at all. Right now they say the 4090 is the most in demand, but again, it's only averaging 15 cents an hour. If you are, well, it's interesting. That has gone up actually for the top 25%. That was typically around 22 cents. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Not that I'm going to take mine off of Vast right now. But yeah, that's good. So this is improved. This is definitely improved. But you can see, heck, even 3070 Ti's averaging 4.9 cents. That's not bad. 4070 Ti's are horrible. To make an average of 1 cent an hour. Yeah, that's the reason why I put it in my machine instead. But 3060 Ti averaging 4.7 cents. Yeah, I'd take that. I've been taking that. Now, now what I am going to do, I have an old mining machine. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I should be able to take that. I just got to double check the memory. Make sure it's DDR4. Make sure I've got enough memory to put in it. But if you look at 3060 Ti's, they basically say 32 gig of system RAM is enough for that type of rig. It doesn't need to be 64. So I'm going to probably get another one set up here. I have, where is it? There it is. I have this 3060 Ti that I have put two 3060s where this 3060 Ti was in order to put on Vast, which they were doing really good for a while. Now they're unrented. They've been unrented for a little while. So we'll see. Things may be changing. Obviously, that's 2 generations old. I don't know. Gonna have to... Always looking to see what I can do to optimize my setup. All right. Enough of that. And then lastly, let me bring this up. There we go. So I started putting together my reconfiguration plan for the rack, because right now this Octo server and this is on a GPU riser 12 GPU rack, or not rack, frame. That's the word I was looking for. But I want to get these things on the wire rack shelf. So this is basically how I'm going to set it up at this point. So I have my NAS right here, although this might come out. I might put the Timpi down here, and then I've got another special project that may go up here. I may put the NAS over in the other part of the basement, like where my daughter's computer used to be. That way it's kept in a cooler area, because I really don't want my NAS drives to be in like 90-degree heat. You know, spinning rust drives don't generally like that too much. So I'm probably gonna do that. And then up on the top 3 shelves will be all of my dual 3060 vast rigs, my 5090 rig. So basically it's got my 4 Dell 7810s workstations, as well as, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 standalone, just like open air workbench type of frames. The ones that Panda has, you've seen them, and I think I've shown them on my stream before too. So gonna use that for the top 3 shelves. But I think it'll all work. I think it will all fit really well. And I'm looking forward to not being completely cluttered when I go downstairs. Plus, the electrician's requiring it. So that's the other thing I'm gonna have to do, is I'm gonna take the power monitoring system down and put that back on after they're done. I'm hoping that the little power wire that powers the actual Emporia unit, I'm hoping that I can get them to install that. So then all I have to do is just connect everything up and plug it into the Emporia unit. And actually, I'm probably not going to unplug anything from the Emporia unit. I'm going to leave all of the monitors connected, and then I'm just going to label each wire as to which circuit they were on, because they should, from the top down, keep everything the same. So I can just be like 1L, 3L, 5L, 6L, 7L, whatever on the one side, and then obviously on the right side do the same thing. So, all right. Crypto Crack says, how's the 4090s on VAST? Right now, my 8 GPU rig is rented, but my 6 GPU rig, my Octa server, is not. It's been been getting sporadic jobs. But like I said, I don't know if that's due to anything but being so close to the time that it's going to expire. So I don't know. We'll know more after the panel change, and then where I can put much longer time frames on it, and we'll see where it goes from there. Let's see. Let me scroll back up, see what I might have else have I missed. Let's see. Oh, you already did that. Okay, so what CPU do they need? The CPU is not typically the problem. Excuse me 1 second. My nose is running. So yeah, they want 4 cores per GPU in general. So depending on how many GPUs you have on a given rig, depends. So the CPU isn't that big of a deal. Yes, Crypto Craig, they are. They are. All right, let me see. Taking my 4090 off Cryptics and putting it on Salad, I'm guessing. I'm guessing the arrow, it's supposed to be an arrow, not a greater than. That you're putting it on Salad. 36 Ti makes more sense, yeah. Yes, 26,000 hours. Yes, I used to have a lot on Salad. A lot. I don't have anywhere near that much on Salad anymore. Just have RPN send them special bath water for seniors. Stripping for senior. Oh my gosh. Obviously I hadn't read chat in a while. John English, like, I wish I could run VAST, but I can't open any ports. Not yet, at least. I need a static or... Well, actually, you don't need a static IP. So yeah, you need a static IP or ports, being able to map your ports. Honestly, if you're going to do any of this, you should have a router that has that capability. Don't try to do it with an ISP router. Don't try to do it with a consumer grade router. You're just asking for trouble. Ask me how I know. It's just bad news. Those routers are not built to do what we're trying to do. Oh, no open ports on T-Mobile. Oh, got it. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Your full Ubiquiti. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to be doing a video on that. I was looking at just like the last 48 hours, like what people have been watching on my content. And it's really interesting that the 2 top videos, again, I haven't put on any recent content. Sorry about that. But my 2 top are, my top one was my Ubiquiti versus TP-Link video from over a year ago, which got 29 views in the last 48 hours. Nothing, blowing the doors off or anything, but it is interesting that was the most watched. And then my other one is my solar video, which continues to get views. That was at like 17 or something like that. So nothing recent. And I really need to look at those videos and go, what did I do in those videos where people continue to want to watch them? Is it how good the content was? Was it the content? I don't know. So either the subject matter is, so we're going to see, because I'm going to do a video on why I chose Ubiquiti for my home network and what would I have done differently. Because there's been a lot of products that have come out from Ubiquiti in the last year, actually within the last month. There's an awesome project. It's Ubiquiti, it has fiber at the end, but basically it's a 10 gigabit router. It basically is like a dream machine, except in a much smaller footprint. But it has all the same capabilities. It only has 4 LAN ports, 4 dedicated LAN ports, instead of 8 that you normally get on a dream machine. It only has 1 PoE, which I have the SC, which has all 8 are PoE. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have picked that smaller switch or the smaller router, and then gotten a separate router to add more ports. So yeah, and they have now 2.5 gig switches that I could have added, so I could have had 2.5 gig up here. I don't know. I'm actually thinking about adding a switch up here, but I'm kind of like, do I do that, or do I just add an aggregation switch so that I'm more looking at the future? But I don't know. I may do that small switch first, and then look at then maybe look at doing the aggregation switch down the road. But again, the other part of it is might end up doing an aggregation switch because if I get Metronet, I'm probably going to keep Comcast as well as a backup. So then I'll have 2 WAN ports, and then I'll still need another port for going to the aggregation switch, and that'll be a 10 gig link. So yeah, anyway. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything else? Oh yeah, haha, yes, Arrow. All right, let's see. Thinking of diving into the Ubiquiti world with the new UDR7 AIO router. AIO, all-in-one. Sorry, I think of AIO as liquid cooling, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good option too. If you look at Short Circuit on Linus, I do agree with his view on it. The other one, I don't think is that much more expensive. I think the UDR7 is somewhere between 200 and 280. I think it's like 240, I think is what it is. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But the one just above that, the one I'm talking about, the fiber one, that has a little bit better features. Now the all-in-one does have an antenna. So it does, you don't need an access point. So that is a benefit there. So I suppose if you're just getting your introduction to the Ubiquiti world, you're not going to expand that much. It's a great option. I just think that once you've done that, if you don't need, like AP, like you could put that into AP mode, if you get something else, so that it could still be an AP and meet those needs later on. But I don't know. I like the ability to ultimately expand without being constrained. Now I can say that really easily because the AP that I got for free, and the 48 port switch in the basement I got for free. So yeah, my introduction was pretty easy, where all I had to do was add a Dream Machine. That was all I had to do. So, Swamp 7, you need a spine and leaf setup for fault tolerance. I don't even know what that is. A spine and leaf. Oh, you're talking about the network. There are ways. I know that if I like ran, I looked at this before. So if I ran an aggregation switch, what I could do is have the aggregation switch. Yes, the aggregation switch is still my single point of contact, single point of failure, I should say. But if I had another switch up here and the switch down in the basement, I could do a connect between the two switches as well. So that if one of the wires to either of the switches, like those ports, went down, you'd still be able to go around and still be able to have connectivity. So I'll have to look that up. Spine and leaf. Well, here, I can get away from this. We've already talked about this. There we go. Let me get out of this. Spine and leaf. I'm just going to type that in. And leaf topology. Interesting. Yeah, except I'm not going that much. I'm not doing like redundant routers or anything like that. So my router is still going to be a single point of contact, single point of failure. That's what I'm trying to say. Interesting though. Yeah, because the spine in this case, you have all these different routers. Anyway, appreciate you sharing that. Let's see, what else am I missing? Okay, nothing else. Oh, what keyboard do you use in Macs? I just heard some wonderful clicks. Oh yeah, I love this keyboard. Galaxy Epomaker Galaxy 100. Absolutely love this thing. Yes, it has some, it's like butter. Like butter. I love typing on this thing. CryptoCrack, I'm a TP-Link and Cisco Maxi. I mean, TP-Link isn't bad, as long as you get the right product. If you're trying to do like home lab type of networking at home, don't get the consumer grade TP-Link routers. They're not bad. In fact, their at home routers have great Wi-Fi coverage. I'll give them that. I had a TP-Link, but when it came to doing port forwarding, you couldn't do VPNs. Yeah, it just was not ideal. Now go to their own model line. Some good stuff, some really good stuff there. And I love the fact that TP-Link is pushing Ubiquiti to have some lower priced options, because their stuff has become a lot more reasonable in price. So yeah. All right, let's see. Swamp7 says you can run your router with high availability. Even Unify has the feature now. I'll have to look at that. Interesting. I might have to switch to a different router though. Because I only have two 10 gigs on my router. And one of those is going to be, well, the 2.5 gig right now is the WAN port. But there's going to be another WAN port, and then I only have one more 10 gig, which is what goes to the other switch. So yeah, I could obviously, the 110 gig is a LAN port going to the other switch, but I could set up other 1 gig, I suppose, and use those. But interesting. I will have to look that up. In fact, I'm going to type it in so I don't forget. There we go. Okay. Now I've typed that in. I'll take a look at it. Oh yeah, UniFi's brand new high availability feature. I will have to look at that. I wonder if Lawrence has talked about that. I'll have to take a look. Metromike, I'm a Linksys Maxi. I highly doubt that. I don't think you're a UniFi Maxi necessarily. But Linksys? Yeah, I think we're talking about the past. Just spit up my drink after reading that. John English Tech, I have no problem with TP-Link or Linksys or Aruba. John English Tech, Max, you would need 2 things. The new WAN switch and another Dream Machine like the one you have. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And which actually, if I didn't, I wouldn't necessarily need another Dream Machine. I don't think. I could probably use that newer one that's only $280 instead of $500 for another comparable machine. But yeah, I don't run anything that really requires that. Excuse me. My 802.11b is untouchable. Oh my god. They have to be the same? Oh, that sucks. Even if, yeah, I'll have to look at that. That's dumb. That's absolutely dumb. There's no reason why they should have to be the same. Not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying it's dumb. All right. Well, hey, for good measure, let's take a look to see where crypto prices are. Let's switch over. There we go. Bitcoin below 94,000. Yeah, that was up earlier. Like, it was up almost to 95,000 at the start, at the open of the market, I believe, for the Asian markets. But now it's come back down. Doesn't look like Monday's going to be a very good day for the markets, unfortunately. You got Cardano back at 67 cents, well under 70 cents. You got Ethereum back under 1,800. It was over 1,800. Yeah, that market looks rough. Litecoin back around $85. Polkadot, $394. Ouch. Ouch. I gotta sell it $445. It was up at $421 recently, just this past week. Yeah, that stinks. Got Caspa back over 9 cents. Let's see what else we got. Filecoin $265. Ouch. My last purchase was $277. It was up in the 280s. $287 recently, like last couple of days. So that's not good. That's not good. So yeah, looks like we're starting off at a little bit of a rough start to the week. Oh, well, that's probably the reason why our optimism is down 12%. Come on, optimism. We need more optimism. Let's see where good old Flux is at. Flux. Well, that hasn't actually moved much since I looked at it when everything else was up. That's at like just under 27 cents, but that was up over 30 cents recently. I don't know, could be another buying opportunity before it goes back up, as I do have some cash on the side. I did sell off a bunch of stuff, but it's not low enough for me to buy back in it yet. Be looking for some more down before I buy back in. Let's see. Noctua had been up. Oh, look at that. Noctua was up 23% over the last week. So my 250 bucks is now worth like 321, 323. So nothing huge or anything, but anyway, that's a quick look at the markets. It's Sunday though. So what happens on Sunday? Sunday's always a down day. Just is. All right, let's see. My standard Sunday Max message. Sailor is announcing more BTC buys tomorrow morning. That is correct. As he always does. I did see an article on that. I did a quick look at what was in the news. There really wasn't that much this week. There was a lot more last week when I did my stream. I switched my oranges and browns to be a rebel. Really? What are oranges clicky? I thought blues were clicky. I always thought reds were linear, browns were tactile, and blues were clicky. So oranges, I'm assuming you're talking about keys. I'll wait for your response. Mr. Allset, good to see you. Thumbnail got you confused. What got you confused about it? Oh, because it didn't look like me? I think the key is that like it gets confused with the picture that I loaded up. It's hard to see where my chin is, so it basically makes a guy with a longer chin. I have a relatively short chin. And I've told ChatGPT, shorten that chin. It's too long. Yeah, that's about what it makes for me. It makes a little bit more for me because I've got it staked. Do you have yours staked, Retro Mike? I just staked 500 demo per device. So it gives me a little extra. I mean, 250 for doing literally nothing. If you normally drive, which most people do, if you drive, you literally have to do nothing. You set it up in your car and you let it go. That's it. Don't have to do a thing. I forget to look. Yeah, it's only $250, but it's $10 you wouldn't have had at the end of the month. Nobody's gonna get rich with it. At least not yet. Hopefully we see some price appreciation, but yeah. Turn your picture into Mitch McConnell. What? Why would I want to do that? Wait a minute. Whose marketing department did you have to contact? I am doing at least 3,000 miles, 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that's about what it makes. It's about $2.50 a week. That's what it's making now. So what did you have to contact him about? Oh, you sell it for a Polygon. I have zero faith in Demo. I don't know. I like the project. So what does it actually do? So basically it sells your car data. Supposedly there's a market for it. Again, is there? Who knows? I mean, there could be a market for it. Is there a market for wing bits? There could be a market for it. We kind of have things that do that already. Weather XM. Is there a market for that data? I would bet no, because bad data is any data. Bad data is still bad data, and Weather XM, sorry, it's unreliable data. Some of it could be good, some of it's not because of the installations. I've talked about that before. I won't go into that. My point is that all of these projects have stories of where they could sell their data. Hive Mapper, same thing. But are they actually selling the data? That's the part we don't know until they publish revenue. And then, of course, if they publish revenue and they're actually making lots of money off the data, people will go ballistic going, you should be sharing more with the crypto guys, and you should be paying out more. And so there is no motivation for any of these projects to document how much they're actually making. Now, it's interesting, actually, Flux is supposedly doing that coming up here shortly for all of the nodes, that they are going to share 25% of all of the node earnings with the node, the profits with the nodes. So there'll be like additional bonuses that will get paid depending on how much use is how much revenue is coming out of their node network. Right now, or let's say last time I checked, I'm going to check now, I had 2 apps running on each of my nodes. 2 on my Nimbus node and 2 on my Cumulus node. Let's see if it still is. Yep, 2 and 2. So people are using it. So anyway, all right. We're talking about the Gold Shell Byte. I won over a month ago and they still haven't shipped. Oh, got it. Got it. Do you really want that thing? My point on, well, okay, John English Tech, the reason why I know this is because my son's a meteorologist. So had a few conversations with him about weather. If your installation is basically biased because of its location, it isn't getting the correct wind because it's blocked by something. There's a reason why the best places to put those are on the top of the roof. That's going to be the point at which you're going to get the best data. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. So, yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice if you got a notification that it had shipped. Minnie. Your Temu orders are hung up too. Yeah, I know you're joking. I know you're joking. Alrighty, well, I have been streaming for an hour and 23 minutes. Just turned to 23 minutes. So I am going to call it a night. And I appreciate you guys all being here. It's kind of a light night. Wow, it definitely was a light night. 36 people were here tonight. Usually I have double that. So you can tell the weather's starting to get nicer. That's what I'm going to tell myself as to why nobody showed up. But again, very much appreciate all of you. And I will be back here next Sunday. Again, don't know if I will be doing a 12 to 12 stream. Let's see if I have a voice left, if I'm still planning on doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see. But definitely doing Thursday. Start time should be noon, but again, depends on whether or not I get everything done that I need to get done in the basement. I got to get that done first because they're going to be here 7 a.m. on Friday, which means when I'm done with my stream on Thursday night, I'm going straight to bed and waking up when the guys basically get here, probably half hour. So it'll be a little bit of a short night. And then hopefully they'll allow me to record the install because I plan on making a video on that as well. And we'll see. So, alrighty guys, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Good night, everybody.